Evidence. Tonight, see what truly exists inside the world of the paranormal. Inside. Join the discussion and review some of the best paranormal evidence captures from a wide variety of experienced and up-and-coming investigators. See and hear what they capture, where they captured it, and how they captured it. Right now on Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Empty Chair Paranormal Evidence.
I'm here. Tree's coming.
Welcome to Entity Voices Paranormal Evidence. Sorry, guys. Tony, Cherie, Ron, and Lourdes just finished another Staticom podcast with another group, so they'll be jumping in here in a second.
Yeah, we kind of cut him off. I'm like, he wanted us to play clips. I'm like, we're out of time.
Yeah, dude, we got a show, bro. So, everybody, welcome back.
Yep, been a while.
So, before we get started, there's something I want to show, and I'm going to show you again at the end of the show, but I want to show you at the beginning of the show. So, take a look at this.
Very cool.
Yes, you all. Ron
Number
Iacovetti
4?
has another book coming out.
Book 5.
5. Oh.
Book number 5. The man just can't stop writing.
Where is he, by the way?
Let's have 4 of them.
They're coming. They had to take a quick break before they jumped on, so they'll be here. But we have something super special for you guys tonight.
They've been waiting.
They've been waiting. Y'all have been waiting.
Patiently.
So tonight is the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash, Attack at the Bash, the Jennie Collucci encounter. Yeah. So to preempt this a little bit, tonight's show, you are going to see firsthand perspective of a person that experienced a paranormal event in one of the most haunted rooms in the Eisenhower Hotel at the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. Mrs. Jennie Collucci is going to come in and she's going to tell you her firsthand experience that she had in the room. And then the Cocos are also here with us tonight. They're going to let you guys know what endured after that. So what ended up happening is, and I'm not going to tell the whole story, I'm going to let Jennie do it, but what ended up happening is we all come together and did an impromptu investigation in the room that turned out some of the most intelligent, timing, and relevant responses in a matter of minutes. So the first investigation we did, it was an impromptu one with only about 15 minutes. Which wielded anywhere from 5 to 6 EVPs in 15 minutes. Then we went back later that night with Jennie and the Cocos, and in about approximately an hour and a half investigation, there was very little in between time where we weren't getting intelligent responses during this investigation. Mm-hmm. So I am going to bring them in now, Mrs. Collucci. And Dos Cocos, say hello to everybody.
Evening, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Evening.
Look at Jennie. Y'all ready for this?
She's ready. I am
We're
so
ready. Everybody's
so
ready. We had a two week
for weeks.
Yep, 2 week delay, but we're ready to go.
But Jennie is back and on 2 feet and ready to be here tonight. So how I want to start the show tonight is everybody have met you guys, right? You've been on the show multiple times because you're awesome. So how I want this to start, Jennie, I want you, from first person's perspective, besides the fact that Cherie just fell in the house.
Popcorn, I think.
I feel like she tripped and fell. But I want you, from the first person's perspective, tell them what started all the evidence that they're about to see tonight.
Okay. I'm going to start at the very beginning. I've never been to the Gettysburg Battle Bash. It's my first time. And this year I went with Anthony Simonelli to help him out at his table at the bash with his spirit art. Hi, Cherie. So we went a little bit early. We went on Thursday night it's kind of before everybody gets there, but we went on Thursday night, and I knew nobody really. Like I'm sort of, I keep to myself, whatever. I don't know a lot of people. So Anthony is Anthony, right? So how are you doing? Everybody's coming up to him and everything, sort of thing. So we were sitting at the pool in the Eisenhower Hotel, which is where I was staying. Anthony was in the other one with you guys. Oh no, you weren't there. You were in the.
We were in the
Not
same
so
one
nice.
you were in, yeah.
Okay. Anthony and I were sitting at the pool with Wes Coleman. Hi. How are you? How did it go?
Good. Continue your story. Continue
Yes.
your story.
So Anthony and I were sitting at the pool, which is kind of in a courtyard situation. It's inside and the rooms surround it. So we were sitting out there with Wes Coleman and John Zaffis at the pool and drinking beer. I wasn't drinking beer, but they were drinking beer. And Eric Galligan came around. I don't know if anyone knows Eric Galligan, but he came by and he sat down and he said, what room are you staying in? And I said, oh, I'm right over there, in the pool, by the pool. And he said, oh, which room? Because we investigated this hotel before the bash. And I said, who's we? And he said, Steve, Barry, and I, and a couple other people. And I said, oh, very interesting. What did you get? And he said, well, there's a room by the pool where we found that there was a gentleman who was really angry. And he said, get out of here. And the EVPs, that kind of thing. And he said he liked to stand by the window. So I'm thinking, well, please be my room, right? And of course, as we all would. And I said, what room? And I said, I'm right there by the lifeguard sign. And he said, I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's the room, but you'll have to ask Steve. I said, okay. I'd never met Steve. So later on that evening, we're in the lobby and Steve comes over and I had to know. I was like, look, I know we just met, but I got to know, you did an investigation. And I heard that one of the rooms was pretty haunted. And he said, yeah, 158. And so I'm thinking, I'm like trying to be all cool, but I'm going, yes, that's my room, right? That's my room. I'm so excited. So Thursday night, I went back to my room. And some of these details might seem insignificant, but you'll see why they're significant later. And Chris and Audra, you guys will follow me here. So that first night, I walked in saying, hi, I'm Jennie. I understand there's a man here and he's really mad, but we're going to get along great because that's how I am, right? We're going to get along great and it's all going to be good. And, let's have a good weekend. I'll be good. I'll be a good guest. I'll be a quiet guest. I won't bother you. So I got in. So I have 2 queen size beds. This is important. Facing the 2 beds, I slept closest to the door because it was loud at the pool. The pool was to my left. The door was to my right. So I slept as far away from that pool as possible that first night. No problems. Nothing happened. No noises, no voices, no nothing. So all good. The next day, I met the Allgoods. And then that night at dinner, I met Ron and Lourdes and Tony and Bree. And the Cocos. We all went to dinner that night. Everything was fine. And Anthony, of course. You just assume that Anthony's always with me. We don't separate. Like we wither if we separate. So that night, I decided, I think I had a drink or something, or my iPad, so I put it next to the bed. And this time, I slept on the inner part of that queen size bed. And this is where it all started. So that night, I had one of the worst nightmares of my life. The kind where you think, that your survival is in question, those kind of nightmares. Not like the usual ones where my bike tire pops like 25 miles from home. It's like, this was, I felt someone dragging me out of the bed by my right arm really hard. And it was the kind of thing where the floor is lava, like don't hit the floor or you're going to die sort of thing. So I was frantically pulling myself back into the bed, trying to, screaming bloody murder. Somebody was trying to kill me basically and yanked me out of the bed. So that was disturbing to say the least.
Right.
But I still didn't put it together. I still thought, well, I just had an awful nightmare. I've been traveling, et cetera, et cetera. that morning I saw Ron and Lourdes at breakfast. And I love this whole story because it starts to pull people in little by little. You know, it's like all the characters come into the, you forget about it. All the characters come into the story. So this is where Lourdes and Ron come into the story. I sat with them at breakfast and I said, guys, I had the worst nightmare. It was the most awful nightmare. And Ron was eating his like 5th breakfast, right? And looking straight at me and like looking right at me, listening so intently, just, you know, kind of thing. And Anthony had gotten me a bracelet because we were vendors. And I gave him my arm for the bracelet. And I said, make sure it's tight so it doesn't fall off. And he said, what happened to your arm? And we all looked down and saw circular bruises on my right arm. And it's kind of important. Let me see if I can show you. It was sort of, you know, here and here. Okay. So I said, oh, I know what happened. I know what happened. I had a nightmare. And yeah, I had a nightmare. And during the night, I was pulling my arm. I'm sure that was it. And as I was saying it, I said, you know, and I was trying to figure out how I could have been pulling my arm and getting my hand that way, and I couldn't. So, you know, it was like either I had to put my hand back like that or all the way around, you know, to get it. And I was like, kind of thing. And Ron is still eating his breakfast, like we're on breakfast 5 now, and he's still looking at me like sort of thing, sort of thing. And I stood up to get some more coffee, and he stood up and he walked right over to me, never looked down, and went, just put his hand on my arm like that. And I looked down and his fingers lined up exactly perfectly without even looking. So remember that, Ron? You walked up to me and you just went.
So Ron did it?
Ron did it. And
Ron did it.
I was 4
That's the
breakfast
end of the
deep at
story.
the time.
Yes. So I was still pretty convinced that somehow I had twisted my arm around, you know, to try to get it or something. And they weren't deep bruises or dark bruises, but it was just amazing that he just didn't even look, and he just went smack on my arm, and it was right on it. And I went, that's pretty interesting, you know, from this. So that's the beginning of the story. So this is where the all goods come in. They come in next. Who's next?
But can I just add something to that?
Of course.
Because
yes,
when people usually have nightmares or sleep paralysis or things like that, I get them a lot, or I used to. You don't move. You don't do those kind of. You usually stay still. So the likelihood of you having a nightmare and doing that to yourself, like maybe like to re-represent that to yourself or whatever it is, like you wouldn't do that.
It's in your head that you're doing it.
Right. It's not. You usually you're still. You can't move.
And I sleep like Dracula.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, you're right. And I sleep like Dracula, like I'm in a coffin. So yeah, exactly. Usually you think that you're moving and you think you're screaming, but you're not. Right. But I was still, you know, I mean, and Ron knows this, and Lourdes knows this. I was skeptical. So I left it at that. But I asked Chris and Audra to come by my room in the afternoon and just see what they felt and what they thought. Because I thought, well, okay, the plot thickens, but I had no idea how much the plot was going to thicken from there. That was just the tip of the iceberg. So let's go to the afternoon, Chris and Audra.
So let me start with this. Jennie, tag you're it. Jennie did a little video introducing you to the room, and I want to play that.
Oh, yeah.
So, here we go.
Hey, it's Jennie at the Gettysburg Battle Bash, and this is my haunted hotel room. Let me show you around. It's room 158 at the Eisenhower Hotel. So there's the desk, and there's the window that supposedly they have gotten EVPs where a man is standing there telling them to get out and says he stands by the window. And this is the bed I slept in last night. because this bed, I slept in the night before. Slept, you could say. I've only slept about 3 hours. This bed, I felt yanked out of in the middle of the night. Someone was pulling on my arm really hard. So I decided to abandon that last night and stay in this one instead. No problems that I know of. I'm going to do a couple EVP sessions and just check it out again this morning, but a crazy wild night here in room 158.
That room looks familiar.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Quick little note here. I heard that Eisenhower's drawing lotteries to see who gets that room next year.
No.
I don't want it.
I requested it.
Whoever gets it, we got to talk to him and try and find out who gets it.
Yeah.
So hang on, guys. That is a true paranormal investigator right there. She gets her ass whooped in the middle of the night by an energy in the room and goes, "Hey, I want that one next year for the bash." So do you want to start?
It's all in the name of research.
Because she's sleeping there by herself. I can't do that.
Yeah, I couldn't either.
Not by myself, right?
Jenny, I couldn't do it.
I have to Chandler have to come.
So
Yeah.
Jenny asked Audra and I, "Hey, do you want to come down and do a reading in the room?" And I said, "Sure, let's go. Let's go check it out." Because nobody F's with Collucci would wear around. Right? Yeah. And this is where the interesting part starts. So guys, I've been doing this for I'm way fucking old. I started buying equipment when I was 25, guys. I'll be 52 this year, right? And I've been experiencing things my whole life. You guys all know the story. So we go to this room and I connect with this room, and it is the most energy that I have felt. I mean, I compared it with the energy level to Tala. I left with a paranormal hangover that lasted 2.5 days. And it had nothing to do with booze because I didn't drink half the booze I could have. Of course, if Todd would have had anything to do with it, I drank more.
I only brought you 2 bottles, I think.
Yeah. Brings me 2 bottles of booze, and then the whole time we're standing in the back of the room with Staticom, he's over there handing me booze as we're talking, as you guys are talking in the front.
Nice.
Loco Cocos.
Love it. Love it.
But what was interesting,
Go.
Jenny goes, "What do you guys want to know about the room?" And I went, "Nothing.
Nothing.
Don't tell us anything about the room. Let's just go." We immediately walked in the room. You guys saw the video. It's a long time. Yeah, it is a long time. I'm fucking old. But we walk into the room. You saw the video, how the room was laid out. And the first thing I did was I pointed to the corner and went, "There's a man standing over in the corner," which was directly connected to the chair, right next to the door where they got the EVPs and get out, right? And then Audra and I started to connect a little bit of what we were picking up. The energy in the room was insane. We both got...
Well, you got the energy, and you're asking me, I'm like, did you get anything? I'm like, I'm not getting anything yet. Then you start reading the room, got that energy, and then I just kind of went, you're going to think I'm crazy. Rick Springfield. I'm sorry, but that's what I see Rick Springfield. I don't know why.
So everybody that's old like us...
You don't know who he is, look him up,
Look
please.
him up.
You youngin'
Soap opera star, rock singer.
in the 80s.
That haircut that he had
Yeah, just
in
that
the
general
early
look.
80s.
And nice looking. He was a nice looking dude. Ish.
Yeah. He's no
He was a
Superman.
bit of a heartthrob back then.
He's no Superman.
Yeah.
That's right.
Got it.
So I do something that I normally do at investigations where I'll put my hand against a wall or something and I try and connect and ground with the room to see what energy I can pick up. So I did that and it just went off the charts. I was shaking. I was starting to sweat. He played a vampire in a movie once. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So we started asking questions. And,
Look alike, Scott. Look alike.
Spirit Rick rolled the hotel room.
That's him right there, folks. They
There
don't
we
know.
So basically what led up to it is Audra and I were picking up the same things. And then all of a sudden, I turned around and went, "Is your name Daryl?" And we were doing a live EVP session, and we actually got him to respond what his name was. We asked him a bunch of questions. He responded. This went on for about 15 minutes, and the next series of EVPs that I'm about to play for you is what we caught in that 15-minute EVP session.
Oh, wow.
So here we go.
Oh, wow.
So that was the response immediately after I went, "Is your name Daryl?"
Play it again, please. Yeah, play that one more time.
Here we go. So guys, what I want you to pay really close attention to is what you're hearing is just a recording of Jennie's digital recorder.
Yeah.
She didn't amplify it. She didn't pull it into a software. She didn't change anything. Everything that you're about to hear, she recorded straight from the digital recorder.
Right. And we played it back in real time.
We played it back in the room, yeah.
Real time. Yeah.
Let me play that again.
You actually said, is your name Daryl? It's Daryl. And then he said, it's Daryl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. I went, "Is your name Daryl?" And then I looked at Jennie and I looked at Audra and went, "It's Daryl." And that's when it said this. So I'm going to play it one more time.
Pretty clear.
You can hear the voice tone. You can hear everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the next thing. Yeah, I pulled it right out of the air. It just came to my head. Guys, I can't explain it. Shit just pops in. I don't know where it comes from, but and here's the one.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Wow.
That's a line right out of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the most interesting part
I have
about
to say
this
that
one.
when we
Go ahead,
played that Get Back, that was like, I got a little like,
Yeah.
like I got a little like in my stomach because we played it. We didn't hear that one because it was noisy with the air conditioning. But when we played it back for the Moon Ladies and I heard "Get Her," I was like, oh, now it's getting interesting.
Yeah.
You know.
The most interesting part about that is I started picking up the energy of the room, and I looked at Audra and Jennie, and I went, "Hang on a minute. This was a domestic dispute. This girl did something that pissed him off. He didn't like it. He started assaulting her. Jennie went and laid down on the bed, and I went, turn that way. And she turned towards the wall, and I went like this. And she turned her arm just slightly a little bit, and my fingers lined up with her bruises. And I went, what I'm getting is that she pissed him off. He was assaulting her. He threw her on the bed. She tried to pull away. He grabbed her by the arm and went like this. And right as Jennie put her arm up and I put my hand on it, the fingers lined up with the bruises.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then she got this EVP.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have video, I think that you have of you guys live reading. I have a live video of you reading that room, of talking about him looking like Rick Springfield, of saying what happened with the domestic abuse. So if you have that, that might be interesting just for everyone to see.
I don't know if you sent it to me or not.
Yeah.
I do, Everett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you wrote that, Everett, I'm like, okay, Newhart.
Yeah. So here's the next one. Here we
Yeah,
go.
it's clear. Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, here we go.
Wow.
Just
Yeah, he
in
did.
case you were wondering.
Yeah, he didn't want us to stay. He wanted us to go. Guys, remember all this happened in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
No shit, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Here's the next one.
Can we turn off the air so we can talk with you? I know Jennie introduced herself yesterday, but my name is Audra and this is my husband Chris. Would you please talk to us? If you want us to leave.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what pisses me off, y'all.
It acknowledges you.
In all the years, Yeah. In all the years, oh wait, it gets better. All the years that I've been investigating, and all the years that I've been involved with the other 4 of EVPE here and the Statacom project, this fucker is the first one that says my name.
Yeah, that's really clear.
That's very.
Yeah, it is clear. I hope the next one doesn't say, "I'm sorry, I meant to say Rathman."
I was going to say that.
I hope that's not the next clip.
It's possible.
That's the next
It's possible.
episode.
Of course,
That's
it's
the
always
next
possible.
episode.
That's the next
Let,
episode.
let me put it in perspective. Ron and Lourdes and Tony and Cherie did a Statacom session earlier in that day or later the night before, and we thought we heard him say all good. And I'm like, yes, they finally said it. And then Ron went back and reviewed it, and they said August. And I'm like,
August. It was my fault. I thought it was
God
August.
damn it, I thought I had it, and then I didn't get it. And then this douchebag says it.
Christoph August.
Christoph August, that's right.
We did get Christoph though once.
Yeah.
I thought we got Chris all good
We
once.
did. We did.
Yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Statacom, yeah.
I feel better now. So here is the next one that she got out of the 15-minute investigation. Here we go.
So last night we heard someone on the recorder say, "Get her." Was that you? Who did you?
Again.
That one was pissed.
Yeah.
Get her.
Yeah.
Let me play that again.
Yeah.
So last night we heard someone on the recorder say, "Get her." Was that you? Who did you?
Wow. Wow.
That's full on creepy.
Yeah.
Tony deleted it.
That's funny, Church. That's funny. You guys got an amazing succession of EVPs in that room in a short time period.
Yeah.
It was like 15 minutes, like one session. It was.
Yeah. And then we went back and told those Cocos.
Those
Right.
Cocos.
And we went, you know what? Let's go back and do it again.
So can I stop you for 1 second? Because I have to give credit to Carmella. Because actually they were already involved because she came to my room earlier and I opened it and she said, "There's a guy in the corner." Knew nothing about it. And she said, "There's a guy in the corner."
Oh, so she nailed it. Yeah.
Yeah, was that Friday night one? Because you,
She said you wanted us to walk you to your room, so we did.
Yeah,
So
that was
and I
Friday.
said, right there in that corner by the leather
She
chair.
didn't say that.
So then
That's great.
actually Carmella picked it up first.
Yep.
Look at that.
That's two independent.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ron.
No, I just said it's two independent confirmations by for a form of mediumship. That's amazing.
All right. So I have one question and one statement. So this 15 minutes, this was in the afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And the statement is just for the record, Cherie and I and Ron and Lourdes were actually running Statacom, or we would have been involved in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They were running Statacom. Yes. In the other hotel.
Yep.
And I just thought, come over and take a quick look, see what your impressions are, because I'm not as sensitive at all. So
and we told you, Jenny, we said, when we walked in, Carmella pointed it out to say, hey, he's sitting there in a chair. We were like, listen, if you don't feel comfortable sleeping in a room, come sleep with us. You had an extra bed in our room too. So.
right. I've never had so many people offer to let me sleep with them.
We should probably all pause the show now and wait for Raul to comment.
Yeah, wait for Raul's comment.
He's gonna have something
Then we
funny.
can move
Let's
on.
just wait.
Yes.
Jenny's like, it's like I'm in college again.
Raul, he's so funny. He's so funny. He's like, "Is that your show tonight? Better not stop." Okay.
Better not. So I now have 13 pieces of evidence that happened within an hour and a half. An hour and a half, y'all. So we didn't have a digital. Did we have a digital recorder then?
I had
didn't
my
use it
phone.
that night.
I had it on my phone, but I didn't have a recorder
Okay.
on my phone.
I
So-
didn't run it that night.
We had the Coco's dead bell. We had a K2 meter. Todd and Carmella had just won a new piece of equipment that's a REM pod simulated, and I'm going to point this out, simulated with a motion activated laser grid.
That we didn't know at the time, right?
We didn't know it at the time.
We didn't know. We know now.
We knew.
So before we play these videos, that motion activated laser grid was pointing towards the wall away from all 5 of us. So it was not movement from us that caused what you see.
Nope.
And we didn't realize this until after, right?
Right.
Wow.
Great.
Can I make one little point? The K2, it was the pretty purple cocoa
Yes.
K2.
Purple people eater.
The purple people.
I think we used 3 of them, and also I had a motion sensor going that plays Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The dead box motion sensor,
Yeah, but if you have the video of you guys explaining with Rick Springfield and stuff, you'll talk about what I think you're going to play it. What happens in the bed?
Girl, I have what you sent me.
Then I send it.
Okay.
And you got it.
And they're numbered in numerical order of how they occurred. Guys, I want you to pay attention to this. We'll talk in between each one, but we're going to go in succession so you guys see this. This is an hour and a half of timing, relevant, intelligent responses, direct responses, and just completely insane stuff. And I do want to mention one thing. You'll see me in this video. I'm expecting twins. So no rude comments from the peanut gallery. Yes, I'm a big man, but I can tell you, since this video was taken, I have lost 18 pounds because I saw this video.
I hear you. I hear you. I've been there, Chris.
I saw this video and went, you know what, bullshit. I haven't eaten in 4 weeks, guys. All right. And the 18 pounds is true. I'm not lying. So here we go. Here's the first video.
Awesome.
Domestic violence.
You're gonna think I'm weird, but he looks like a young Rick Springfield.
That's what I was getting. Brown hair with the same haircut.
Yeah, like a young
He's got
Rick Springfield.
fucking chills.
Yeah, that's exactly.
What?
Yeah.
Domestic violence happened in this room. It was him.
So you think that's why he was rough with me like that?
Could be.
I think
grabbing
it
me.
was a reenactment. What I'm getting is he shoved her, threw her under the bed, grabbed her, she pulled away. It all happened in this room.
Huh.
It's happening hardcore.
Or like he pulled her out of bed, like,
He actually
trying to-
threw her under the bed, grabbed her by the arm,
and pulled her off.
and actually I see him doing this. And pulling
Right.
like this.
That's exactly right. And I was
Where's
trying
your
to
arm?
I was trying to breathe. You want to see it?
So yes, I even have skulls on my shirts. So
All over the place.
all over the fucking. So that was the reading that I was picking up, and guys, pay really close attention. And Tony and Cherie have seen this. Audra sees it all the time. When I start picking up the energy of a location, you see me start shaking. I grab myself. I'm constantly going like this. It's the energy that I was receiving in that room, and when it's that intense, is when I respond that way. Unless it's intense, I don't respond like that. But you see me shaking, you see me grabbing my head, you see me stabilizing myself against the wall. That's how I receive stuff. I never will claim to be one of the master mediums of the world. It's been happening to me my whole life, and that's how it comes out. Thanks, Chad.
What's up, Chad?
Everybody watching, Chad will be on in 3 weeks.
Awesome.
All right, so here is video number 2.
So this is not intelligent.
Not there,
Okay.
but he's still
Let's
over here in
see.
the corner.
Daryl, if that's you,
Yeah.
can you touch it to red?
That's the residual anger. Watch.
What
It spikes. Thrust, spike, thrust, spike. Grab her by the arm, spike. Pull her down, throw her to the bed, spike. That's the residual fight.
This is where
Stop.
I slept. Oh my god.
Do we need to get off the bed and see if it changes?
Go ahead. It's not going to.
Yeah, my phone's off
Nope.
too.
Look. Spike. 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 Spike.
What does?
And electric. That wasn't you guys in the bed. It's still.
No. It's still going.
Hang on. Anger. Throw her to the bed. Throw her to the bed. Spike.
Wow.
Argue.
I know that's. I have to ask Steve if that's what it's supposed to do.
Turn it off.
Come here.
Oh boy.
Daryl, if you're
What did
here,
she
can you
do?
touch it dead
What
bell
did she
for us?
do? Why did she make you angry? There she goes. Throw her to the bed.
Oh wow.
There it goes. That's residual.
Okay.
That's the fight.
So that's just the fight that happens over and over. Okay.
Daryl.
That was like us watching.
Yep. You laid right where it
You know what that
happened.
reminds me of, Carl?
Wow.
Yeah.
So the one part to that, you hear me ask, I'm like, I got to ask Steve Barry about the laser grid, because the laser grid at that same time was going on and off multiple times. And we're like, we didn't know. I didn't know it was motion activated at the time because we just wanted it in a raffle.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I was saying specifically where I slept the night before.
So Karen just asked an interesting question. Chris, what do people do what do I do when people think you're lying?
I don't think it.
I don't mean to sound insensitive to anybody, but those that know me well, I don't give a fuck what other people think.
Right.
I don't.
That's true.
I know what I'm feeling. I know what I'm spitting out. And as you can see in the video, when I'm spitting stuff out like that, that's what I'm receiving. I'm only spitting out what I'm receiving. And we were getting spikes every time I was feeling the energy. We were getting results.
Yeah.
And guys, I don't claim to be super psychic. I don't. I just tell you what I feel and what I see and what I hear and what I'm picking up at the time. And for the people that don't believe me, I don't care, because I'm not out to prove anything to anybody. I'm out there to do the paranormal research and investigate and capture evidence. I'm not out there to prove to anybody what type of person I am. Those that know me know I'm genuine, and that's all that matters to me.
That's right.
Well, we're not.
Just a quick interview.
This is just us.
Jenny was actually paying us $150 an hour.
Hey, Chris.
That is why it only took an hour and a half, because Jenny ran out of money.
Yeah.
So
Or I won the 50-50.
That's right.
Chris,
You know, it was
I can relate to
interesting.
what you're saying as far as whether or not people believe you, because you know our story. Carmella and I have been together a long time, and we've been kind of doing formal investigations now 2 years. But as long as we've been together since high school, she's always had and said, "Oh, do you see that? Do you see that?" I'll be honest, and she's going to beat me
I
for
was weird.
I thought she was weird or crazy, and I'm just like, but I still love her. I'm going to stay with her. But,
Cute. But she got a cute butt there.
but now
At
what?
least you stayed.
I stayed there. But no, I can relate, because now seeing her coming into her own and trying to support her and try to believe what she's saying. She just had an experience. We'll tell you a little bit later, but it's like boom, from an experience we had at Tala. She's starting to believe in herself a little bit more, and
Good.
and hey, I believe her now. So it's like, not that I didn't believe her, but it just
Right.
for somebody that doesn't experience that, it's
You don't know.
kind of hard to wrap your head around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, of
It is.
course. Well, I mean, one thing we did is we tried to back up Chris's, and Audra's explanation, So that's why we put the K2 exactly where I was sleeping. And it really didn't go off anywhere else, in the beds.
Just in there.
Yeah, and what's amazing is when we moved it down away from where Jenny was sleeping, it stopped, and we didn't get any
Yeah.
spikes. We couldn't get it to respond. I was seeing what happened in that location, and I was calling it out. And as I called it out, as I saw it, we kept getting the spikes.
It was it was the same thing over and over again. Yeah, it was residual.
In that part.
And that part of the bed where
Yes.
I was exactly sleeping. Right, exactly.
So from this part forward, you're going to see videos of intelligent responses.
Right.
So here we go.
Sarah, where are you?
I don't think
Are
he
you here?
talks to us.
You're beneath him.
Yeah.
No, you're beneath him.
It's all about Chris right now.
Daryl.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're beneath him. He's not going to respond to you.
Nope.
Daryl, did she watch somebody at the pool? Was she flirting with another man?
That must have made you pretty angry.
Yeah, I put that in there because Chris was the only one who, to whom, whom he would respond, no matter what.
So what we were picking up is that in the late 70s, early 80s, the Eisenhower was a big biker bar or a big biker hotel. There was a lot of bikers that hung out there. Gangs would come through. They would run out half the hotel. And what I was picking up is that was the connection with Daryl. I don't know why he was left in that room. I don't know why he's there. Thank you, Roger. I don't know why he was there, but we were picking up that he was a biker. So when you hear me in that video say you're beneath him, he won't talk to you.
Yeah.
He won't talk to women. So if you look at the late 70s, early bikers, women were owned. They were property. And if a biker in the group had a woman or was married to a woman, the whole club owned her. And yes, that entails everything that I'm implying. So, and I speak from experience because my ex-father-in-law from my previous marriage was a hardcore biker in Southern California, and all of his friends were bikers. And one of the main reasons why he never joined the Hells Angels that he had multiple friends in was because, and excuse my language, ladies, I don't mean this. This is not my intent by any means. Once you're a bitch of a biker, the whole club owns you. And he wouldn't join because nobody was going to own his bitch but him. Right? And that was the mentality that we were getting from Daryl in this session. So when I told Jennie he's not going to answer you because you're beneath him, that's what I meant. It's not that I thought Jennie was beneath him. It's that's what they were doing. That's where he was coming from. Thank you, Karen.
Probably also important to point out now that people are capable of those kinds of things in our life and society. And in retrospect, comparatively, 5 breakfasts, not that bad.
No. As a matter of fact, with no height reference to Ron at all, if you watch The Lord of the Rings, the hobbits eat multiple breakfasts.
See?
And I didn't mean to say breakfasts.
Yeah, it's all right.
And no one's going to comment on the fact that I've been shoving my face full of food the whole show.
We're used to Rathman doing it.
He just eats one meal.
Non-stop all day long.
Yeah.
From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's
right.
That's dinner
Listen,
time.
I'm a hard hop at the break.
You making a wish?
You guys hear what he said?
I'm a hard hop at the break.
So guys, the reason I've been so excited about the reason I've been so excited about Jennie coming on and showing her experience and what we did at the Gettysburg Bash is, guys, what I've showed you so far is only about 45 minutes worth of stuff.
Right.
I still have 13 clips.
Right.
Let's do it.
Here's 4.
I love that you guys dove into this thing and made it like an actual focused investigation off of what you started with. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's a hard how to like it, Roger. All right. Here's number 4.
I wouldn't say biker, leaning towards that. He's rebellious. He's responding.
Okay, biker. It's a biker. Oh, both of them.
Oh, that one's over yellow over there.
Okay. And that one wasn't going off.
Nope.
I would not sleep in this bed.
Okay.
That was before we found out it was a biker hotel, right?
Yeah, that was before. We didn't find out it was a biker hotel until after we were all done. We found that out later.
Which is cool.
That's important to point out.
Yep. That's cool.
Right.
So here's number.
But as
Go
soon
ahead,
as you
Jen.
start talking, it starts going off on the bed. Like we could all talk, and as soon as Chris started talking, the Acacia would go off.
So you'll see in a later clip, there's a reason for it, right? So the 1970s, 1980s biker mentality is we don't talk to women. Women are owned. They're a piece of property. But
Right.
look at the guy talking to me, right? And there's a clip in here later that it's kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody watching this show, it's gonna be a battle royale to get 158 next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the Battlefield Bash is at the same location next year. So here is number 5. Here we go.
Okay, so now I'm saying.
So Daryl, the girl that you I don't know
Roughed
what
up?
word to use. The girl that you roughed up over here on the bed, did she survive? If she did not, ring that bell. Did you kill her?
That's heavy. That's hardcore. That's hardcore. Is that bad? He could have.
Could have. Did you hurt her really, really bad, Daryl?
Yeah.
Either light up that. Here, Daryl, I'm going to point to you. You either light this up or make this ring for a yes. Did you hurt her real bad?
I think he doesn't want to admit it.
You can admit it at this point, Daryl. At this point, you're not going to go to jail. You're not going to get arrested. The cops aren't going to come to get you. We're way past that, bud.
Yeah.
We're way past that.
We're not telling anybody. You can tell
Believe
us.
it or not, you're not here in physical body anymore.
So you can reply. You can answer honestly
How's that?
with no repercussion.
Not too bad.
Did you hurt her real bad? Did you hurt her real bad?
So I'm really glad Jennie showed this clip because I wanted you guys to see that we weren't getting responses all the time.
Right.
They were very direct. And somebody that was in 70s, 80s biker, I ain't copping to shit. Right? So
just to,
and a little flicker at the end when you're like, it's all right, you can say it now.
Yeah.
And it then started to flicker. Yeah.
so Anthony Simonelli said he heard voices in the background, but there's music. It's in the pool area. I think that's, I think that's what you're hearing, Anthony.
Yeah.
So the center of the Eisenhower, you go through the front door, you walk through the lobby, and then at the back of the lobby, there's a door that goes to the pool, and the rooms surround the pool. So the pool is actually indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenny said it's like a courtyard.
Yeah, it's a giant courtyard in the center. That's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, look, George said the same thing.
That's true, but yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
So here is number 6. Here we go.
So you're going to be good to Jennie tonight if she sleeps in that bed. You're not going to bother her. You're not going to hurt her. You're not going to grab her by the arm again, right? It's just what was over here.
Right. Thank you. Look, there it goes again.
Look at yellow. You're all the way up to yellow on that.
Yep. Okay, good. Then I'll sleep over here. And like I said when I got here, I'm not here to bother you. Just here to get a good night's sleep. That's good with you? We're gonna be friends,
Wow,
right?
that one's my card. I went up to red for a second.
Cool. All right, good, Daryl. I'm glad.
So Daryl, when you said get her, that wasn't for Jennie, right? Make that light up more.
Thanks. It's flickering, yeah.
You're still upset with the one that you heard over here, right? Daryl?
Yeah. So we made a deal. You're like when you said get her, you meant get her.
Oh, there you go, Audra.
Yeah, I honestly, other than just kind of like a few pictures of picking up Rick Springfield and then his person, I won't call her the B word.
His bitch.
Yeah, that one. She was like a Heather Locklear kind of looking girl, a little bit rougher, but that's the general gist of it. So I didn't feel anything in the room. I even tried to lay in the bed with a K2 on, and see if it would do anything, if it'd make him mad or anything. I got nothing. Not a thing.
And I want the audience to pay really close attention to what Audra said, because we were picking up the same thing in the room, that it was a long-haired, smaller, rougher-looking Heather Locklear type girl.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we do the second portion where Statacom strikes back, we're going to show you a reading that Mr. Simonelli did and some pictures he drew. That he had no idea what we're saying right now when he did this interpretation and reading. That lines up almost perfectly. That'll be in part 2. Mr. Forget About It's going to have some pictures on here.
Yeah, Mr. Forget About It's a very talented spirit artist.
Yes, very.
He didn't share that for a lot of his paranormal career, but he's very good at it, and he's very intuitive, much like how Carmella, you and Audra, Chris, are as well, and Lourdes can also be at times. He's just a well-rounded guy. He's got it all. He's a good host, and he's a good investigator.
He is. And let me tell you something about Mr. Forget About It. His drawings and his interpretation of what was in that room lines up almost perfectly with what we picked up. And he wasn't there. We didn't tell him about what we picked up. This is something he did because he left that afternoon.
Yeah.
Right.
Went back home.
Yeah.
Right.
Had some family stuff he had to take care of. He wasn't there.
Right.
We didn't tell him anything. So in part 2, when Statacom strikes back, we're also going to probably bring on Mr. Forget About It if he can do it.
Yeah.
Invitation, Mr. Simonelli.
Yeah, the level of detail.
And I'm going to show you the pictures that he drew and the description that he gave. And it almost lines up perfectly with what we were picking up and the responses that we were getting in the room that night.
Right. Roger was asking if the K2 moved when we were just talking. When I was saying, are we good tonight, Daryl? It was going up past yellow. It was going way up. That was
But
one
he
of our
said
stronger
plot
responses.
switch, and I don't.
Yeah.
I think he means the mechanism itself.
Move.
Oh,
It actually moves itself.
Apparatus.
I don't know. We'd have to watch it again.
Yeah.
I don't
When
know.
was it?
Yeah,
Good question.
We weren't sitting on the bed because we didn't want to affect it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So for everybody watching, Carmella and Todd were over by that desk you saw, right?
Yeah.
I was standing where you see me standing, walking back and forth with my twins. And Audra was to my right and Jennie was to my right. Nobody was sitting or touching that bed.
No.
So all the responses that you see off that bed, nobody was touching
Near
that bed
it.
at all.
Yeah.
Here is the next clip. Hour and a half, y'all. Here we go.
You like watching the bitches out at the pool, Daryl? Oh! It's funny.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I said, and that's on the lowest setting. Like I turned it, and it's on the
I
lowest
feel better
setting.
now.
Sensitivity was.
I think just being able to communicate with him, I feel better.
Todd.
Wow, Todd.
Ron's timing and relevance every time, man. When you get an immediate response like that, and even Chris, when you were talking, when you were like Daryl, boom, it's like he acknowledged and rang that bell before you even finished your statement, about 5 minutes ago or whatever. But it's just, I
believe the reason why you probably got that immediate response is the emotion that you put behind that word.
Right.
The way you said it, and you got that response.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was funny.
So I want to apologize to everybody watching. That is not how Chris is by any means.
No.
It's
Yeah,
not.
because you get one of these.
Yeah.
Oh, it was you. I'm sorry. I thought it was Todd who said it. So it was Chris.
So for everybody watching, and you can ask Audra, this is true. I am a big, rough looking guy and probably not somebody you want to fuck with.
No.
But when it comes to women, I believe that women are the most cherished thing on this planet and they're supposed to be protected, and that is our jobs. What you see in that clip, is me responding to the personality that I'm picking up from Daryl.
Right.
I know how to get him to respond. This is his personality I'm picking up on. So these are the questions I'm asking him because I know he'll respond the way I'm asking.
Yeah.
And it's not by any means the way I feel at all. I just want to make sure that's clear. So, there you go, Roger.
The only other time Chris sounds like that, if you've got 4 or 5 22 to 24-year-old drunk kids who walk out in front of Chris's truck when he's pulling away from a stop sign. You will hear words you never thought would come out of Chris's mouth.
I remember that. I remember that.
So yeah, I'm not afraid to take on anything, guys. To be honest. And Tony and Sheree and Audra have seen it firsthand.
Yeah. Many times.
Y'all are making me blush. All right, so here is clip number 8. I was never a detective, but I was definitely in law enforcement, and I've had children, so.
Yeah. He put them bitches into shape. No, sorry.
Get your ass in the chick. All right, here we go.
That was my bitch, wasn't it, Daryl? And she did what she wasn't supposed to. Is that what happened? Yeah.
So that thing will.
Yes, it's me.
That thing will
Timing
sense
relevance. Yeah.
walking over here right now
Spike.
and temperature change. It's
Okay,
kind of
so
handy,
this-
isn't it?
Yeah, this wasn't domestic violence. This is, bitch, you are mine, and
Yeah.
you did what you weren't supposed to do. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Look.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happened, and wasn't it, Daryl? That's right.
And he's holding.
Look at him. And it went to red. That's right.
Yeah. And it went off. That
Yeah,
thing.
he was a biker.
And it won't go off because of me. See, like
No.
it's not me.
And
Well,
that's
you're not a couple of three.
No, but I'm not that thing.
Multiple devices on the one response. Yep. And
I forgot Carmella. I think we had Carmella's spirit
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
too. We got that response. I know people sometimes poo-poo the apps or whatever, but with everything that was kind of the way the responses with all the
Yep.
different devices and stuff.
Right.
So we got the intelligent relevance response from your guys' app. We got the K2 response and the dead box. It's called
Yeah,
dead box, right?
Crypt-
No, I
What is
was
that called? Crypto
I was a-
something.
I was a posse reserve officer for Maricopa County Sheriff's Office for 10 years
Oh.
for free.
Yes, you did. You did.
That was
Yeah,
good.
but-
Yeah, that's
yeah,
part of that.
motion sensor.
Yeah, the motion sensor. What is it's called a dead box, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Crypto cords, I think.
Crypto cord.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's from Vortex, right? Vortex.
From
Right.
Vortex,
Yeah,
from,
I got it at the
Christopher and
back.
Gina.
Number 8, right?
It's a
Gina and
crypto
Bob.
cord.
Y'all, was that number 8 I played?
Yes,
There's so many of them.
Sorry.
it was a great session.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was a powerful response right there to you.
Yeah. Let me play this one really quick and make sure it's not the same one.
It's okay.
That was my bitch, wasn't it, Daryl?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, that clip can be seen also in the documentary upcoming called "Scared Straight Out of Gettysburg."
Wait, no, we weren't. I slept by myself that last night in there. No problem.
I was straight before we went to Gettysburg.
Scared Straight and Straight Out of Compton. I put them together.
There you go. I got you.
No, straight out of Gettysburg.
So here is number 9. And I'm going to point this out again. Hour and a half, y'all. Here we go.
Yeah.
That is the way you were all the time, huh, Daryl?
Yeah.
That's the way life was, bud, huh?
Is she here with you now?
She's not here.
Where is she?
She went home.
She's home. Did she leave you, Daryl?
No, I mean home.
I know. But at the time,
Yeah.
now.
She's not here, but the energy of that is, and that's what you
Holy crap. No wonder I had nightmares all night.
All right, Jenny, bye. Good night. We're going to bed.
I see it.
Fuck you
I
all.
haven't even watched my phone. It was right back there.
Oh,
shit.
Todd's dying over here.
Look at this.
Look at this.
Red.
fourth try, we are now ordering. They went to 4 different places.
Oh my
Just now
God.
getting food at 11:45.
Well, we're
We are
having
probably-
an insane investigation in my
we are
room.
probably gonna tell them
That
to come
just
here.
went off. Seriously, this is a footstatic coming here.
Right?
Wow.
I'm like, fuck you guys.
You cannot have an EVP show without somebody telling somebody.
And I go, how many was that your fourth place you guys went to go get dinner?
So you guys tell that story so everybody knows what that recording was.
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
I got food in my mouth.
I know, he just stepped out and just to grab another sandwich.
I did.
Go ahead. That was when Kat was driving us, right?
Popcorns already.
What did you say, Ron?
That was when Kat was driving us to get dinner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
correct. That was, yeah.
that was
That
weird.
was a late night dinner.
Yeah, it was late.
Like 11 o'clock, I think it was.
Yeah, because we went to 3 rehearsals before we actually got food.
Right. The first one, they ran and locked the door right in front of us.
Right in front of us.
Even though they had a bar full of people.
Yep.
The second one said they weren't serving anymore. The third one said, or was the third one where we actually did eat? I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, the third one had no food. That was the.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. They weren't serving food
Wow.
anymore.
And what happened before we left the hotel? What happened to that bench?
The bench.
Which bench?
The table.
The Cat backed into
The
almost.
bench, yes.
Remember the
picnic table. The
Yes.
picnic table.
Oh my God.
We realized out of nowhere because we all got in all 4 doors and nobody saw a huge picnic table, but
It is
she backed up and there it was.
Whack.
Weird.
Wow.
Just weird. Like
Sorry,
seriously,
yeah.
I don't think it was there. I mean, none of us saw that damn. It was huge. And I was right behind it. I did not see a huge picnic table there. And all of a sudden we hear, we're like, what the?
They're really heavy.
It came out of nowhere. It seemed like it came out of nowhere. Seriously. Maybe it was there. No one noticed. But really, I don't know, man. We all.
We're not wasted that night.
No,
So
we
there's
weren't
no way
even
to see.
It was weird.
Anybody that's never been to Gettysburg, y'all have to go because even the picnic tables are haunted.
I was gonna say
Jump out in
that.
front of your shit.
That we believe.
But how do you get into the car without somebody's? I mean, this wasn't even like a 8-foot table. This was like a 10 or 12-foot table. It was huge.
It was
How do you
huge.
not see that?
None of us saw it.
And none of us, no way. And something happened there. Either somebody put that shit real quick when we weren't looking.
I pushed it over. I pushed
It was
it.
Daryl.
It was Daryl. But it's weird that
No, it
none of
was
us
not
saw that
the
huge
approved.
table.
Yeah.
Everyone witnessed it.
Y'all, before we go on, there's something I want to point out. In multiple shows, Ron has bragged about my beard game.
I thought that tonight.
Ron, I want you to lean forward to the camera, please. That, y'all, is some beard game right there. Look at how perfectly shaved Mr. Iacovetti's beard is tonight. That is some beard game right there.
You too can be all good.
Jack Daniels and Taco Bell. That sounds like a puke waiting to happen.
Oh, don't bring up food right now.
Yeah. Yeah, we hit a picnic bench and then we drove, I don't know, I want to
Hours.
guess maybe 3 to 7 miles an hour around Gettysburg between restaurants. If a bug hit the windshield, we would have stopped. That's how slow we were going.
Oh my gosh.
Would have cracked it.
It was a great time.
We did have a great time. We did. It was fun.
We
Yeah,
felt
every
for
time.
you. That's why we said, well, we felt badly for you.
2 hours before we eat our dinner.
We were starving.
Yeah.
It took them longer to find food than it took us to capture all this evidence in
Yeah.
Jenny's room.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really.
It
It
did.
was about the same.
They kept kicking us out. It wasn't our fault.
I know.
Everybody take a quick pause, and nobody's going to talk again until Carmella smiles. There we go.
Holding
Always
it
right in
down.
the world.
She's
Holding
exhausted.
it down. I have gum in my mouth. I'm chewing. I'm drinking soda. I may have to leave in a minute or two, but it's going to be fine.
She's a little under the weather.
Fine. I'm rocking back and forth.
All right.
It's fine.
She gonna
I'm not gonna do anything. Nothing's gonna happen.
She's good. She's strong.
I know.
I'll
What's
just-
going on. All right, so here is number 10. Hour and a half, y'all. If I haven't said that yet. There we go.
Once or twice.
Ooh, Audra as
Be
bait.
careful.
Yeah. Audra,
Oh, it's spiking over here.
Hey, Daryl.
you're a badass. Oh no! Now he tells you to be careful. He's like, Jenny, go lay.
Jenny, go lay down. Audra, please be careful.
No. It's different with her.
I'm kidding. I know she's open. I understand. I do. I understand. How do you feel laying there, Miss Audra? You looking
Not
sexy.
bad.
Well, here's another thing too. She might not pick it up because
I'll have, yeah.
she puts a bubble.
So do
I have
I.
a good energy.
Me
We've gone on investigations, and I'll look at her and go over there.
Yeah.
Investigator.
That's funny.
Like, what the fuck is the? What are the chances of that shit coming all simultaneously? Candle.
I like Todd's response.
Yeah.
That was good. That was interesting.
I didn't know I needed a permission slip for this show.
You always need a
That's funny.
permission slip for this show.
Yeah, everybody needs a permission slip.
I am happy though because when you told it to go, I thought you were offering your bee to Daryl. He didn't do that.
And for anybody that has not met Audra in person, no, she cannot talk without using her hands.
Oh, it's so
I have held her hands before, and she cannot speak without using her hands.
What you didn't see is before that, he goes, Jenny, go sit over there. Okay, no, move more into the energy. Move where it's going off more. And I'm like, okay. And he's
Yeah, like you haven't been
Audra,
beaten up
be
enough.
careful.
Go get your yeah. Jenny, go in there and get your ass kicked. Audra, stop. No.
He's like, Audra, be careful.
Yeah, that is the bed that we sleep on.
I think so.
But did you feel anything?
Not a thing.
When he, oh,
Why you're pointing at me?
I thought Jenny's asking about us when we were there. Never mind.
She
forget-
was.
I was asking if
He was asking
Audra
about-
felt
I laid down on it.
Okay.
funny.
But it did say investigator, which was really cool, and the
Yeah.
music box. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, what
The
was
box
funny is
went
she laid
off,
down on the
yeah.
bed and everything else went off. I mean,
Yeah.
everything else went off, and nothing was close enough, guys. If you pay really close attention, we never place equipment close enough that it's going to cause the other equipment to go off.
Right.
There's plenty of space in between.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting clip. That was number 10, right?
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
There's so many from that hour and a half, y'all.
I was just about to steal your line.
All right. Here's number 11. Here we go.
So, Daryl, why are you responding to me so much? Because of my tattoos? You think I'm a biker? Yeah? What if I told you I was a cop?
Stop.
No way, you won't believe it. You don't believe it, do you? You don't believe it. Cops don't have tattoos. Cops don't look like that, huh?
Well, guess what?
Look at Not in the 80s.
No. No. You right there are a biker.
Yep.
You are a biker chick. Daryl, if I turn this radio on behind me, would you be willing to try to talk to us so we can actually talk?
Yeah, go
That's
ahead.
pretty good.
It's yellow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good answer.
That's residual from him.
Okay,
There you
so
go.
that might be a yes.
I would say turn
I
it off.
asked if I turn this radio on, if we might be able to talk a bit better, and that went all the way up in the front.
Oh,
What
me
did it
too.
say?
I'm laying down in bed. Is that
I'm feeling
okay?
tired. All right, well, if you're tired, that's fine. Just don't say anything. But if you're not,
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
We were whooping his ass. That's why he was tired. But the interesting thing about the whole investigation, guys, is there's 5 of us in the room. Everybody asks questions. Chris talks with his hands as well. That's right.
You were.
The funny thing is the mentality of a biker from the 70s and 80s is I don't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
He'd have been in for an ass whipping because I ain't afraid of Daryl.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
That's right. I ain't afraid of no. But the interesting thing is even Todd asked a few questions and he wouldn't respond to Todd. Women asked questions. He responded to Jennie, but he had already whipped her ass once. So
I remember you asked me because I work in a prison too, and he's like, "Well, what would you do? What would I do with my boys?"
Right.
Yeah. Go ahead and tell that.
Your prison voice. And Todd's like, this is my prison voice.
This is my prison voice.
I said I would call the officer because I'm not custody.
Yeah.
I'm a civilian, so I'd be like, I ain't dealing with it. I'm calling the officer. I'm calling Chris. Chris.
It's funny. He did start to respond to me, like as we went on.
At the end, yeah.
You know, when I said, "Are we cool? Are we going to be good tonight, or whatever?" But I was already his bitch, so.
You were about to get passed around, Jennie.
Clearly.
So here is number 12.
I know you can't go anywhere. Are you getting tired, not going to respond to us anymore?
You're kidding me.
That's crazy.
Yeah, your turn.
So Jennie's going to sleep in that bed tonight, Daryl. You're going to leave her alone. Let her rest. What happened here before has got nothing to do with Jennie. She's just here for the party like you were.
Yep.
And she does not belong to your gang.
Okay.
So let her be.
And I'm coming up to the bed.
All right?
And
you agreeing? Is that a yes? Are you okay?
I'm okay. And we're going to coexist here like we did the first night, okay? We're going to be cool, Daryl. You and me, we're cool.
So back in the 70s and 80s.
I can get along with anybody.
Even Daryl after he's been a dick.
That looks like a
narc. That looks like a narc. This was the late 70s, early 80s. He was probably going, this motherfucker looks like Kojak. Just put a sucker in his mouth.
Yeah. Next investigation, he's going to be sitting there in a bathrobe with a lollipop and a dead cell.
But the best part about these clips that Jennie sent, and she did such a fantastic job of cutting this stuff up, guys. This was an hour and a half long one video, and she cut it up. She showed timing. She showed relevance. She showed, multiple devices, guys. You see that. Multiple devices sitting on the bed. How many times have we talked about this during our shows? When you can get responses on multiple devices, not only is it confirmation that you are getting intelligent responses, but you're getting the timing and the relevance and the consciousness of the reply, right? That's what we did that whole hour and a half, which was fantastic. And damn, Jennie, you need to be editing and producing some shows because the way you set stuff up was fantastic.
It's like just a K2 on a bed, but I had my phone. That's all I had ready. You know, I brought nothing to Gettysburg. I brought like my recorder and K2. You know,
well, and that's even more amazing because none of us brought equipment to investigate. Well, shit, one of the things on the bed, Todd and Carmella won at the drawing.
One.
Yeah.
Me too.
We did bring our equipment, but it was back in the room. Bad, thank God Jennie had her body camera on.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the last clip. Here we go.
I've seen the movie The Mask.
What?
You guys ever seen the movie The Mask?
Yeah.
With Sam Elliott?
Yeah.
Sam Elliott without the mustache.
So handsome.
Except he's got the dark. He's
Like,
got the Rick Springfield haircut.
I had a long life.
Yeah, you did.
You're kidding
There he
me.
goes. There he goes. There he goes. The only difference between Sam Elliott and this guy is put a same color hair, Rick Springfield haircut.
That's the difference between Sam Elliott and
Well, there you go.
No, but Sam
Put a Rick
Elliott's good
Springfield
looking.
haircut. Remember Rick Springfield when he released his album?
Oh, heck yeah.
That haircut when he released his
Yeah.
album. Now put a really dark 5 o'clock shadow
Yeah,
like
yeah.
an Italian 5.
Got it.
Daryl. That's wild. That's what I'm seeing.
Oh my God.
But dressed the same, ride the bike. Yeah, like the movie Mask.
I love that it's totally quiet right now. That's
I'm always trying to debunk.
Yeah, and there's tons of relevance to that. When we do Statacom Strikes Back and we get the evidence that Tony and Cherie, so everybody watching, Tony and Cherie, when Jennie left the next day, they were there one more night. They rented the room and they ran Statacom. And Daryl was just as much of a dick when they were in there as he
I would
was
say
when we were
more.
in there.
More so.
Yeah, I had to threaten to bring Chris back. I did. Didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
When-
mean, I mean, it's just a K2, but boy, it was so intelligent. And
Oh,
you know,
God.
I love the K2.
amazing.
And did I tell you all this all happened in an hour and a half?
Yeah.
You
and,
may
and
have
those
mentioned
5
it once.
EVPs.
An hour and a half.
There were actually more EVPs than that, and those were just the clearest that I could pick out, and they were
Right.
clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pump up Mr. Simonelli again. I want you guys to pay really close attention to the description that I just gave of what I was picking up and what Audra was picking up. Wait till you see what Mr. Simonelli drew and talked about after the fact.
Yeah.
Guys, the most amazing thing about this is, unfortunately, that Jennie had one of the most intense nights that she's ever had in the paranormal world that actually left a mark on her, right? And
Literally, yeah.
literally left a mark on her. The amount of, so an hour and a half plus 15-minute investigation. So we're talking an hour and a half is what you guys saw. And Jennie cut out some stuff,
A lot.
right?
A lot. Yeah.
So you saw 90% of what we did in the hour and 45 minutes with Carmella and Todd and Jennie, and then Audra and I and Jennie in the 15-minute little investigation. That's how intense this room was. And that's why I wanted to bring this to you guys so you could see it, because it was such a phenomenal investigation. I walked away tired and exhausted. And I've done 8-hour investigations and not walked away this way.
Right.
This was
And I don't know
investigation.
I was just going to bring up the whole second floor thing with the K2 meters going off constantly. And this was not the second floor. This was the first floor, in case you're wondering with the whole fear cage thing. And the first night that I was there, I did a full sweep, you know, because they said it was haunted. So I talked to him. I said, you know, we're going to get along. And I did a sweep of the room, you know.
Thank you, Karen.
Nothing.
That's so amazing.
Thanks.
This
This is just the beginning. Part one.
This is just part one.
Yeah.
So next week is Labor Day weekend. We won't be here, y'all. We're taking the day off, right? And sorry we're taking another day off after we took most of July off, but it's Labor Day. And as you can see from the video, I'm going into labor.
You already had them. You lost them.
Those days are over. Those days are gone. But
oh my gosh.
I wanted you guys to see this from the perspective of, normally on our show we bring investigators in and show stuff that they've captured during an investigation. This was a firsthand experience of an investigation with all 5 of us, with the 3 of us. It was a great perspective for you guys to see, and even more, I think Pam and Steve need some kudos, because we switched venues for the Battlefield Bash and went to the Eisenhower, and there's a lot of history there, right? And what's amazing is you go to the Battlefield Bash to network, you go to see friends, you go to have a good time, and every now and then people go out and they do investigations throughout Gettysburg. This shit happened where we were sleeping, y'all, where Jennie was sleeping. And that right there, if that doesn't entice you to buy tickets next year and show up to the Bash, and I guarantee you're not going to get room 158, because especially after this show, everybody's going to be fighting for it.
I don't know. I requested it. We'll see what happens. But if I do get it, everyone's welcome. You're all welcome.
Everybody at the bash, you're welcome.
We're gonna do a Gettysburg.
You're welcome.
How many people?
I want to just say that everybody volunteered. You know, they said, "Come sleep with us. Come sleep with us. Let me walk you back to your room." We were at Staticom late that last night, and everybody and Nicole from Full Moon said, "I'll walk you back to your room. No problem. No problem." So she, she's like, "I'll get you settled in." So we get to the room, and I open the door, and Nicole goes, "Hey, Daryl," and she walks away.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was friends like that, right? Hey, Daryl.
Kind of similar to Todd going, "Okay, good night, Jenny." And then Jenny telling us all to fuck off.
Okay, bye, Jenny. Everything had just gone off at once. Bye, Jenny.
Next year, we'll have to do a show. It'll be what happens when 57 investigators cram into our room. Join us for collusion with Collucci.
Oh my God. But it was amazing. I mean, I thought, maybe we'll get, an EVP like they did, but it was like immediate and creepy EVPs that. And I'm like, did you really mean get her? I meant get her. Okay. Yeah, really. Crazy stuff. And I want you guys to know that Chris recommended I move beds to, sleep in the other bed, and I did, no problems.
There you go.
So
after Nicole left me.
There's one thing that I need to point out, guys. I want to make sure I point this out. We spend all of our spare time and all of our spare money. We have spare money? Is there such a thing?
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking
spend all of
about?
our time and all of our money to investigate and chase the afterlife. But do you know what the best part about everything that you saw tonight is? We got to do an investigation with some really great people and some really great friends. And that's the biggest, most important part of what you guys saw tonight.
Yeah. And it's just the beginning, and then next we have Tony and Cherie coming in. Yes. Doing Staticom. So I feel like it was all of us. Everybody kind of got pulled into this. It was neat.
You don't want to miss next week because we already got a little taste of it, and it's.
Yeah. I can't remember what's on there though.
Sorry, 2 weeks. 2 weeks you want to be here, but
I do remember what's on there, and I'm going to tell you right now. One of the responses that Tony got on Staticom of Daryl talking to Cherie will probably get us kicked from Facebook.
The first one, without a doubt. But that's all I can remember. I'll have to go back and watch it again. But
how about this one? I remember this. I hate Jenny.
Oh yeah, that I remember.
That's even nicer to say.
Then what? Yeah, Cherie's isn't so good.
Yes,
No.
not nice at all.
No.
Oh, they probably hate you because you brought. He hates you because you brought Chris along, and Chris intimidated him.
Yeah.
And then Cherie's probably because you a newbie that came in.
Right. Exactly.
He said, "Who are you?"
The intelligence is just shocking. Like not who's Jenny, but I hate Jenny.
Yeah.
Like you remember.
Little teaser for the next show. So you're gonna hear foul language. You're gonna hear him calling out Jenny, who was gone at this point.
Yeah.
So talk about intelligence, consciousness,
That's what
and
I mean.
relevance.
Like to remember me. Like that's amazing.
But it's cool that you saw the sort of the effect of a typical investigation, and next you're going to actually hear him speak.
Yeah.
We kick ourselves because we ended up spending an extra night, and we were messaging.
Yeah, you guys should have come back. We were in that room.
We were like, we kick ourselves in the ass now.
I think you did text me that, but I don't think we looked again after I said, because I think Cherie said, "Well, come back," and then we never looked again.
That's right, Melissa.
So
this
is just a great example of, we've said it multiple times, guys, that the negative, dark energy that they talk about in Hollywood and all the crap on TV that you see it's just a jerk in life, or I'll say it, an asshole. An asshole in life is an asshole in death. And it boils down to who we're communicating with is a consciousness that at one time walked the earth with what Ron would refer to as their meat pajamas, right? And this was a great example with timing, relevance, intelligence, and the guy held his personality. I mean, this guy's probably been gone since the 80s, and he's still holding that same personality, his same integrity, what integrity he did have.
What?
His same moral, his code of ethics is still with him into the afterlife, which is insane. It's everything that we talk about is as far as that. It's just, this was a predominant echo of that, and it was an intense investigation.
Right.
But we had great time with great people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and that's the most
And
important.
I can't wait for the Statacom one. Not only do you hear him, you hear people talk about him.
Yes.
Interesting.
That is the fantastic thing about Statacom. You guys have not been watching all the podcasts that Tony, Cherie, Ron, and Loris have been doing.
Oh.
Y'all, come on now.
Where you been?
Where you been?
Get on it.
Time to get on that Statacom horse and kick it in the ass and go for that 8-second ride, because it's a fantastic ride, guys.
Be interesting to see what the gentleman we just left prior to coming in here, because he was all ready to see clips, and I'm like, we're out of time.
We gotta go. We got a whole show to do. Fucker. There is something I want to show you guys again before we move on. Pay really close attention to this one.
Oh yes, yes.
Because this one highlights somebody really special to everybody you're seeing on screen right now. Here we go. Yes. Mr. Ron Iacovetti has written a 5th friggin' book.
Coming soon. It's almost done. They did the cover art, which I really like. I was very honored to have Lauren Hellickson, who's a brilliant and fantastically fun personality, did a really nice forward for me. The book may or may not mention the word Rathman in it. I don't recall. If it's in there, you might have to read it to find out.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome, though, Ron. That's really
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Book number 5, one for each breakfast.
So
there you go. There you go.
One for each breakfast. That's right. And y'all, we made fun of Ron earlier and called him a hobbit, but if you guys aren't paying attention, he's not a hobbit. He's a fucking vampire. Because between all the shit he does and working a full-time job and he's writing books, this motherfucker never sleeps.
I know.
Yeah.
He's a vampire.
Yeah.
He's
I'm a vampire who bites ankles.
For breakfast. For breakfast.
Oh my gosh. Thank you all. Thanks so much, Cocos, for helping me investigate.
Thank you, Jenny. We are so happy that you are out and about with us.
Cool.
I have one confession to make.
Uh-oh.
I moved the table because I didn't want you guys to leave. So I moved the table car when you hit it.
Nice.
So short.
It was
But you still left.
Carmella.
still left, yeah.
That'll be next year's show. The mystery.
That's right. If you look really close, it said 222 on the top.
That's right.
Look at that.
Next year's our vacation, guys.
We're not during Gettysburg.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yes, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for joining in. I'm glad we finally got you Attack at the Bash, the Collucci encounter. Enjoy your Labor Day next week. We will be back the following week with part 2.
Follow-up.
With a follow-up, which is Statacom Strikes Back and the reading by Mr. Anthony Simonelli that lines up almost perfectly with everything you saw tonight.
Look at the evolution of this whole process. She had a room, some stuff happened, the marks on the arm. I confirmed it you confirmed it. 2 different people, Carmella, and then you pointed at the corner, had the same vision. Anthony drew what he saw that matched up with the same vision. You got audible information through Statacom when Tony and Cherie came in. You got stuff with K2. I mean, it organically blossomed into a multi-stage coordinated investigation. And all it was supposed to be was somebody drunk to hang out their hat for the night.
That's right.
He did the Statacom and he remembered Jenny's name. That's so fascinating.
We can't even relax properly.
The first fucker to say Chris.
Are you okay? You're really relaxed.
I know. That's why I thought it was
I mean,
cool.
we all agree. Chris. He said Chris. It was
Oh
like,
yeah, that was clear as well.
Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah. They were all clear. Unfortunately, they were clear.
Yeah, and you know what, Chris? On top of what you said, not only did it bring great people together in what was most important to be together at that moment, it's doing it right now.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing it right now.
Agreed. It's doing it again. So even when there's a negative experience,
Yeah.
unfortunately experienced by our good friend Jennie Collucci, and anybody that has not met her in person, she is the sweetest damn person on 2 feet next to Audra.
Audra's,
Like, these guys
my
are
secret twin.
Audra and Jennie are competing for the Disney fucking WWE.
No, we don't compete. We're doing it together.
There you go. See what I mean?
Why everybody loves Jenny. You see
That's
her?
right.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. I love you all. I love this. It's like
Yep.
end
So
of
guys-
part 1.
Yeah, end of part 1. Part 2, 2 weeks from today. Guys, everybody enjoy your Labor Day. Thanks for joining in and
happy
watching
Labor
tonight. It was a long time coming. We're glad we finally got to show it to you and you got to see the perspective of some of us doing the investigation and the perspective of Jennie firsthand. That is fantastic. It's a little bit different genre than what we're used to doing on our show. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with Staticom Strikes Back. Remember, guys, it's not just about chasing the afterlife. It's about chasing the life that we all live together as a team. But there's only one way to do it, guys. You got to stay haunted. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
Can you give me a name? What's your name?